morning and welcome once again to Business Half Hour here on Classic FM 97.3 station that plays every song you know. It is brought to you by Unity Bank in collaboration with Nairametrics. I am Ifeanyi Atama.
And I am Bukola. We have in the guest with us, not in the studio, actually connecting via Zoom this morning. Our guest is Adeoluwa Oni. He's the head of product, Lani Digital. Good morning, Adeoluwa.
Good morning. Nice to be here this morning. How are you?
We're fine, thank you. You?
Doing great. Thank you.
So we start by getting to know more of who Adeoluwa is. Can you tell us about you?
So I'm the head of Online Digital, where we try to find a balance between the user's need and the organization. So I help to drive Online Digital to ensure that we are consistently solving customers' legal documentation problems or meeting their full needs. So,
yeah. What exactly is Lani Digital?
Yeah, so thank you for the question. Lani Digital is a technology platform that helps to provide full-on solutions to all our customers' legal documentation needs. So we provide legal documentation needs to not only individuals, but to businesses as well. So from your need to a change of name agreement or different forms of agreement, an NDA, an MOU, from all aspects of a business or generally all aspects of an individual itself, we help to ensure that all your legal documentation needs are being sorted out. And we do this just by you going onto that platform, logging into the website and searching or navigating to the preferred legal template of your choice and downloading it for as low as 2,500 naira.
All right, before you started Lani, what was Adeoluwa doing?
I'm doing?
What were you doing before you decided to start Lani Digital? What were your work experiences? Or you just went straight into Lani Digital?
Oh, no, not really. So I've been doing management consulting for a long time now, which is basically providing business advisory services to corporate clients across Africa, Nigeria, mainly focus on solving their business strategy needs and also solving their growth requirements, right? And I think it was from this experience that it was discovered that a lot of businesses, tend to sort of not fully grow to their full potential, or tend to fail halfway due to that gap that they have in legal documentation needs. And that's why the team came together to help solve this gap.
Yeah. If you mention legal documentation, I can't help but ask, are you lawyers? And how do you navigate that field?
So interestingly, we are a technology company. We are not lawyers, but we have access to some of the best lawyers in the country that we use to create these templates for our customers. So we're predominantly not lawyers, but we have a strong relationship with one of the best lawyers in the country.
Okay. So talking about legal documentation now, you said you noticed that a lot of companies actually don't get to their full potential because they're lacking certain things. So for someone who is listening now, starting out and based on the services you provide, what are those things you think they're missing out on that you need to bring to the fore for them to realize that they need that to actually enjoy the full potential of what they have?
Yeah, so for example, I'll just speak to first of all the businesses. For example, we see how in the initial formation of a business, we have founders coming together or partners coming together, and they form these business relationships to decide to start this business. And one of the things they fail to do is to have a sort of founders agreement that they can use to properly define what the agreement is between the founders, how they relate with each other. If one decides to exit the business, what that termination agreement would look like. Also seeing cases where businesses who have sort of supplier request and they fail to institute some form of supplier agreement to help protect them. I'm also seeing, let's say, new musicians who are trying to break into the scene. We also have a digital music distribution template that they can make use of to ensure that royalties are being catered for, to ensure that the distribution terms are being laid out and are very clear. We've seen different different kinds of examples. Another one is as you're starting a business, I mean, you have a great idea, a beautiful idea, and we've seen how people have sort of failed to protect these ideas. But that is in terms of, say, having the right NDAs when you're discussing with potential partners, or even having your patent being filing your patents, and we take care of such offline services. And also some people who have not really ensure that the IP is properly protected. So we've seen a lot of these gaps. We realize that people don't necessarily pay close attention to this gap. I mean, you're focused on basically trying to grow your business, right? And in trying to grow this business, you really you might not really have the expertise or the time really to even focus on ensuring that your legal documentation needs are in place. And we at Nigeria too, we've helped to ensure that this is fully democratized. We ensure that it's fully democratized, and that individuals, even let's say you're a landlord and you haven't put in place the right tenancy agreement, you can go there and then you have all these you have yourself protected. You ensure that you have the right documentation and process in place. So that's what we've seen, and that's what I'll see to that.
All right, but you also mentioned something about foundation, and all of that. Now let's look at the foundation of your own business. How was it founded? When? By who? And how capital intensive was it? And where did you get the funding from?
Yeah, so I'd say it was funded by my fellow colleagues, brilliant individuals. So we came together reading the past last year, and we realized that this was a specific need, and so we came together across a full stack team of solid individuals, from our development team to marketing to even growth. And also, as I mentioned, we have access to our best lawyers in the country, no kidding, who have come together to develop these templates. So that was the goal of trying to solve this legal needs, is what brought us together. And then it's a full, I say it's a full solid team. And
so funding, what was funding like starting out? Did you require
funding was tough. I'd say we've had to sort of bootstrap a bit. However, we've been getting interest, but we intend to sort of try and focus on growing organically at the moment, and we believe in time would be a unicorn.
All right. So who are your biggest clients? Individuals or corporate organizations?
So we've seen a bit of both. We've had individual clients as well as corporate clients. But to address that head on, I'd say we've had more of corporate clients. We've seen more of due to, and this mainly partly due to some filing, statutory filing needs that they have to do on a periodic basis. We've also seen a lot of businesses, a lot of people are beginning to get the entrepreneurial bug and trying to start their own business and start it on the right footing. And so we've seen a bit more of corporate client. However, as I said, we are for everybody, and so we have not only say corporate clients, but individuals as well, such as you and I, who we've seen patronize us.
So dealing with this particular kind of business, the Lani Digital, what has it been like? What are the challenges starting out and even operating as well?
Well, it's been quite interesting, I'd say. One of the major challenges, for every business trying to prefer a new product to the market, is finding customers, right? And we set out with a full-on customer-focused approach, and we realized that our customers are out there, and we've been able to serve these customers. And one of the major challenges that we are experiencing is a lack of understanding. In the Nigerian market, we don't really have a lot of people people have legal documentation, they even have use legal needs, and we don't necessarily have to wait till you are in a certain legal challenge for you to ensure that you're right, ensure that the right documentations are in place. And we've had to sort of continually try and bring in that legal literacy. So we've seen that there's a significant gap in legal literacy in the country. So some people don't really understand the clauses, the terms, and it's fine. Not everyone would have that full expertise, and that's why we are here to help close that gap. But that's what we've seen. We've seen that that gap in fully understanding legal service, and then we've been on top of it, and we've experienced how gradually we teaching people, gradually instilling that need, that requirement to have all your legal documentation in place. We've seen how it's helped certain businesses, and we've also seen how it's helped us as well.
That's interesting. What sets you apart? Why should I use you instead of just knocking on the door of a law firm and saying, look, I want some kind of agreement somewhere. Why should I choose you?
I mean, one of the key things that we promise is access to on-demand access to legal template. And it's quite in less than 3 steps. So you log into our platform, you search for the required template that you need, and before you know it, answer a few questions from our questionnaire, and it's automatically populated. And then you can either download it immediately, or you can even download the template and fill it in later. It's quite easy peasy. So that's ease, and that straight on access to that template wherever you are from the comfort of a mobile phone for as low as 2,500 naira. So I'd say these are the things that really set us apart from you having to hire to retain a professional, or you having to retain a whole law firm.
But filling the forms at some point, don't you think you need some guidance? How is that provided, since it's a do-it-yourself kind of thing? You're downloading and you're filling, compared to when you start with, you sit with some lawyer who is telling you, okay, do this or do that. How do you make up for all that, where there's some sort of blind spot and you need clarifications?
Yeah. So what I'd say is that start with we've ensured that our templates are easily described. So you as an individual, if you take note of a certain template, you'd see how it fully relates to the problem you're trying to solve, as well as your specific need. So that sort of knowledge gap is fully taken care of by the team. However, in cases where you might have that gap in terms of what exactly should I look out for in terms of a template, you can either navigate easily and just reach out to us, and we'd be able to say direct you to a certain template.
Who works at your firm, for example? You mentioned the lawyers. Who else do you have? And how much? What's your staff strength?
So we have we're quite a small team of about a small team of 6, to speak. Developers definitely for the product and support, customer service, products, as well as marketing. And we don't have lawyers employed in our organization. As I said, we are not a law firm. We're just a tech company trying to help solve and bridge the legal gap in terms of legal templates. However, we do have a sort of relationship with some of the best lawyers, and we on demand call on to them when we require their services.
So what are the challenges running this digitalized company and competition? How have you managed that? Do you have team competition, or it's just you flying high in your space?
Thank you. It's interesting you ask that, because I mean, as with every growing business, there's the challenge of trying to grow, the challenge of trying to scale, of reaching our ambition. And I'd say we've done well so far. We have been able to grow our customers. We've been able to also not only grow this number of customers, but to serve them across all their legal documentation needs. And one of the major challenges that we experienced starting out was getting the word out there, getting the full-on awareness, and that has been great so far and quite interesting. One of the other challenges is, let's say, trying to ensure that people fully understand what we're trying to do. And we've had people come to us and say, we need some sort of legal consultation, and we've tried to ensure as much as possible to keep the dream true, to provide and to make it clear that we are helping you as an individual, as a landlord, as a musician, as a small business owner, as an employee, or even as an employer to have all your legal boxes ticked in terms of your document and template. So I'd say that has been like the major overarching challenge, trying to grow the business and ensure that all our customers are fully satisfied.
All right, we'll take a break on Business Half Hour. We'll be right back.
Business Half Hour here on Classic FM 97.3, station that plays every song you know, brought to you by Unity Bank. All right, we're talking with Adeoluwa Oni, who's Lani Digital's head of product. I have a question, another one for you. It's something related to one of those that we asked earlier. So, for example, how do you tailor these documents to actually suit people's, should I say, needs now? How do you tailor it? And when people want to actually make corrections to better suit them, how do they go about it?
And so to start with, all our templates are 100% complete, and they're fully adequate to service your need, irrespective of who you are. And just to further add in terms of how customizable it can be, templates can be downloaded at any point in time, and you can fully customize it to your need to provide you as much flexibility as you'd want. But one of the things I'd also say is that it's quite easy to navigate to the exact type of template you need, be it a change of name for a post your wedding, be it a change of name of your company or supplier agreement. You can easily identify what you need, or even search, or you can even type in a chat box, I need a template to define how I will go to the market today, and you'd have recommendations pop up automatically. So it's quite easy to fully navigate, as I said, to get to your exact template that you need. And should you require any extra inquiries regarding the kind of template that you need to sort out your specific need, you can always reach out to us, and we are always happy, as we've done, to specify what you need.
Okay, do you give legal advice too?
No, not at all. We do not do not do legal advisory at this point.
So basically, you're just after having the proper documentation for your business if you're starting out, or presently if you're running a business.
Exactly. So we're just ensuring that you start your business on the right foot, and as you're running your business, we ensure that we keep you protected, we keep you guided in terms of your legal documentation. We do not provide legal advisory, but in terms of the documentation needs you require, considering how busy you are as a business individual or even as an individual, we help to take that stress off you to provide that legal documentation need.
So this is basically for a Nigerian market, or you're looking outside West Africa? What's the target really?
So it's mainly the Nigerian market. However, we've seen interest from the diaspora of Nigerians in the UK, Nigerians in the US who have businesses here and are looking to ensure their legal documentation needs have been sorted. But it's mainly for the Nigerian market across. Anywhere you are in Nigeria, it's accessible. Anywhere you're in the world, it's accessible. You can log in, get your templates. But as I've said, we've seen significant amount of customers from the UK, from the US as well, who are Nigerians, who are trying to ensure their business interests in Nigeria are sort of protected.
Off the top of your head, now, how many templates would you say you have?
We have more than 140 templates at the moment.
So with your business operations, right, do you have a physical office? If I asked you about your staff strength earlier on, are you seeking to employ? And what are those requirements you actually ask of your employee, whoever it is you want to be a part of your team?
Thank you. One of the things I'd say is that when we started out, owing to our mission to digitally disrupt the legal space in Nigeria, we started out to operate as fully a digitalized organization. And though we still have some elements of, say, the employee experience due to the whole remote working that we're trying to improve on consistently, but we believe the benefits of a digitalized operational environment outweigh whatever risks that we've observed. And we are fully committed to ensuring that customers are fully satisfied. Customers are have all their needs met at every point in time. So we come to work with sort of like a day one mentality, and that's kind of requirement that we here at Lion Digital take important. And when we're looking to expand, those are the kind of things that we're looking for. So having that customer obsessed drive to provide to ensure that all our customer needs are fully sorted. So in terms of the team, just as I described before, it's mainly just our the product team, the marketing team, our legal advisory partnership, and a full-on development team.
You mentioned something about expansion. Now, what are your expansion plans, and what plans do you have for the more rural areas who do not have great internet penetration now?
Yeah, thank you. It's interesting you mentioned that. So we're looking at saying sort of expansion is mainly to be a household name in Nigeria. And so when you think about your legal documentation needs, you think about Lani Digital. When you think about how to get, like, say, you have tenants, or think about Lani Digital, whatever legal documents you require or legal template we want to be top of mind. And so we're thinking of we're currently driving our expansion efforts across the country, penetrating deeply. For rural areas with low internet penetration, we also have them in mind as well, and we are working on it. However, as much as possible, we try to solve their problems in any way that we can at the moment.
So how are you going to beat competition to this?
We are beating competition already.
I like that.
It's great. You mentioned it's not subscription based, is it? It's just something that you visit, and whatever it is that you like, you download. Is there a fixed price, and how do you navigate all of these things? Is there a fixed price?
So our templates come at different prices. So, and you don't necessarily have to subscribe to for a whole year to access this template. So you can, as an individual, you can go to the platform, search for a template or look for your specific template, pay for only that template, and go your way, and then come back if you need more templates. However, we're looking at, and we also have some bouquet where you as an individual can subscribe for a whole year. You have access to a certain number of templates at a significant discount that you can use to sort out all your needs. So if you know that you require legal services on a more frequent basis, there's a subscription plan that reduces that cost for you from a holistic perspective. However, as an individual or as a business owner, you can go directly to the website, look for a particular template you need, and download just that template for as low as one of the lowest prices, 2,500 naira.
So dealing with businesses and different types of businesses, what would you say is a common factor, which is a sort of a mistake or what they do that gets in the way of their businesses? What is that thing you have noticed that is a common factor?
So one of the things that we've noticed, which is also what we're trying to solve, is putting off things that are quite very important at the beginning of the business to later stages. So say, for instance, you start a business, you're meant to incorporate this business, have it registered, right? And as a business, instead of you doing that, you sort of push it apart to later, to a later stage in the business, right? Where you think you'll grow it. And then when certain opportunities come by, you tend to miss out on those opportunities, or you tend not putting the right things in place from the get-go is one of the key things that we've seen that people sort of try to overlook or have often overlooked in growing their businesses. And one of the areas where we no longer want Nigerians to overlook is having your legal documentation needs fully sorted with Lion Digital. But we've seen a lot of people overlook certain minute things that you think, oh, this is meant to be in place. Why is it not in place? And then you realize that we are busy, we're looking for customers, we're looking for funding, and then they fail to put in the right things to ensure that when these customers come and when this funding comes, they aren't found wanting.
Yeah. Do you have any stories, success stories where someone almost overlooked something and then related back to you to say, oh, if it wasn't for this document and ABC, do you have any personal stories like that you want to share with us?
Oh, yes. So there's one particular one, a founders agreement, really, and I mentioned the founders agreement earlier. So these three young men came together to start this business. I won't go deep into the business, right? Oh. But however, within a month, one of them decided to sort of walk away from the business. However, fortunately, in starting the business, they were one of our early customers, and they got a founders agreement. However, rather at the point of this dissection or this separation away from the business, they were able to easily just refer to the agreements. What happens when one of us is about to leave? What is going to be the sharing formula of the current, based on the current value of the company, and what's going to be a buyout clause? So that was quite a very interesting scenario that we had played back to us. How, in case, imagine if that wasn't in place. Imagine the kind of relationship breakdown that would have happened. People lose friends of over 10 years due to little business agreement, and it's quite unfortunate. And that's why we try as much as possible to ensure that such things no longer become the norm in the Nigerian business climate. I mean, we'd love to see more businesses grow, more businesses being valued at billions of dollars, and we can only do this by ensuring that we put in the right structure, we do the right thing, as well as we service our customers properly. And as we are pretty much grateful to be a small plug in ensuring that this wheel keeps moving towards progress.
So how have you fared with the pandemic?
It's been quite tough, I'd say. But at the same time, we've been grateful for the new possibilities that the pandemic has offered. Initially, it was quite a shock. I mean, not only to us, but say to almost everyone, the business climate, the way we do work. But over time, we've been able to sort of adjust in terms of our business itself, in terms of our people. We've been able to sort of ride the wave from a place of discomfort towards a place of grace. And we're just looking how we can just capitalize on these wins that we've seen and how we can continually grow as a business and taking in the learnings. But I'd say the pandemic has been sort of it's been initially tough, but I'm happy that we're seeing the light. A lot of people are getting vaccinated, and we are gradually getting out of the well.
All right, we have a question here from a listener. It says, what's the name of the website of the company, and does it have details of documentation required at each stage of business?
Oh, yes, very much. Just www.lanidigital.com. So that's www.lanidigital.com, www.lanidigital.com. So just go to lanidigital.com, or you can search for Lani Digital, Lani, N for not, lanidigital.com.
All right.
And all whatever information you need, we also have a FAQ section that you can easily go to for whatever questions that you have or any navigation concerns, and we're happy to reach out.
Before you go, we usually ask, what's that mantra you have that keeps you going?
Come again, please.
That mantra, some people say, okay, never give up, keep moving. What's yours? What is that particular phrase that keeps you going?
So ours is simply gradually we're moving. Gradatim ferocita. I would like to translate the Latin. Latin means ferociously stepping on towards greatness.
Interesting.
Right. Thank you very much, Adeoluwa.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and do have an amazing day, an amazing week ahead as well.
You too.